What up, folks? I am Ultrazilla, and this is my top 19 of 2019. Alright, my Zillions, it's time once again to count down my favorite figures of the past year. Now, I don't like to do this in the calendar year. I like to judge these things right up till the end, play with the list, make it as, accurate as possible for the time being, and give as many figures time to come out and come in. That's why I've always done it on January 1st. I feel like, let's start the year fresh by looking back. It sounds weird, but it works for me. I enjoy it. I like the idea of starting by looking back. And we got a lot of cool figures that came out. And spoiler alert, you're looking at my tops of the year right now. So I hope you dig what you see. I'm not giving away the order, obviously, here. But there's a lot of cool figures, a lot of diverse lines, very representative of what I collect here. So without any further ado, let's check them out. Kicking things off with a new kid on the block here. I've had a few new kids on the block, and that's why I go to the end, guys. This is an awesome figure. Jushin Thunder Liger from Storm Collectibles. Wow, I love this wrestler. Always have. Love the whole outfit, the different forms he's had, but this is the most iconic. And it just had to happen here, I'm so happy. I got it from Ringside Collectibles. Haven't reviewed it yet. That's going to happen a lot here on this list as well. Always does. But look at this thing. Just like a quick preview, just to kick things off here to show you. I could not include it. I knew just by handling it for the few days I have been handling it that it was a winner. I didn't want to put it further than this, but man, how awesome does this look? So NECA had a really, really good year, and that's besides a lot of the turtle stuff, which I didn't get too much of, honestly, but I did get some of the Guillermo del Toro signature line, and this to me, from the ones I've got, was the best. Fawn from Pan's Labyrinth. Wow. Look at the details on this thing. I had recently reviewed this, but I've had it for months, and it's just so gorgeous to look at. There is not 1 ounce of this figure that is not sculpted and painted to the nines. It is an absolutely gorgeous figure, so great job here from NECA. It's just incredible looking. What else can I say? One of the big boys of the list is the DST Gallery Statue Pacific Rim Uprising Gipsy Avenger. And boy, is this the best representation of this particular Jaeger. It is awesome. Yes, it's a statue, but, whatever. It's all in the collectible community here. Look at this thing. The base is incredible. Every last bit of this is awesome. I love it. I love the weathering on this thing. It just looks so good. It's got good weight to it. And I really, once again, want to thank DST for being so supportive of Ultrazilla toys here. And Ultrazilla, me, for, doing so many reviews for them. I appreciate it so much. This is a fantastic piece, and it was by far my favorite thing from them this year. I feel like every year I have a token Marvel Legends, and this year it's Professor Hulk. And there was a lot of really good Legends this year. This was one of the Build-A-Figures. I built it without getting the whole line, did the whole eBay for a good portion of it. And I really like this guy. He's got a lot of character, as you can see. He's just, I don't know, he's cool. There's something about him. He just reminds me of the Mark Ruffalo Professor Hulk. I just think the face is pretty good. you know, from various angles. The other head sculpt looks really good too. And he's just stuck around my desk. That says a lot. I like the sculpt. I like, you know, some of the finish here, the hairy chest. You know, I wish he had different pants on, but this is the look they went with him, and I'm fine with it. You know, again, he's been on my desk this whole time. He deserves some due. He's one of my favorite Marvel Legends of the year, so I dig it. If you guys follow me on Instagram, have followed my channel, have watched a review for this MonsterArts Gamera Guardian of the Universe, you know I've had a lot of problems with this guy. But despite that, there's something about this figure that I love. I love the face sculpt, the head sculpt. I love the eyes. It just speaks to me. And I love Gamera. I love this Gamera in particular. Is one of my favorite designs. Apart from the Showa era, like, this is my favorite Gamera design, and I just love it. It looks so good. You know, my big problems, if you know, were this part, like, staying in. I've had problems with this leg falling apart on me multiple times. So frustrating. Such a frustrating figure, because this figure could have been a lot higher on this list. I like the look of it that much. It's just, yeah, I just wish it wasn't so fiddly, but still, Gamera's my boy. Specium! Oh yeah, man, I love this Ultraman, this SH Figuarts, anime, Netflix, whatever you want to call it, Ultraman design. I like it so much more than the manga version. All the red here looks amazing. I love the resculpt of this. It's really a new figure. It really is. You know, a lot of folks thinking it was the old one. There's very, very little, you know, the same there. And it's just a great looking figure. The silver just pops. And it's a cool show to boot. So I love it. This is a great design, and man, it really blew me away. It's a really good figure. So, yep, this is the Ultraman representation on the list for this year, and it's a goodie. Like I said earlier, NECA had a really good year, and their tops for me in the Godzilla line was the NECA Godzilla 1964. I guess saying NECA was unnecessary. I really was blown away by this figure. It looks so much better than the promo shots. They definitely fixed some stuff. I know some folks still don't like certain aspects of this, like the jaw and stuff. I don't care. I really don't. I think it looks amazing. And this is not even a design that I love. So it speaks volumes for how good they made this figure. I love it. It's such a solid piece too. What a great look. You know, their Godzilla line was pretty good. The Godzilla King of the Monsters stuff was all, you know, they're all okay. But the 62 was great. This was great. You know, like some of the repaint stuff was really cool. Yeah, but this guy, tops. And speaking of Godzilla King of the Monsters, shock! The Jax Rodan, the 6-inch version here, is one of my favorite figures of the year. I said that at the very beginning when I got this figure, that I thought this thing was going to survive till the end. Not only did it survive, but it made it pretty high, higher than some other Godzilla stuff. Related stuff. I just love this guy. He's got so much attitude. You know, it's just cool. I love the color scheme. I don't care about accuracy if you give me a really good figure. And this looks like Rodan when it comes right out of Volcano, and I dig that. I love the reds. I love the black wash over it. It just looks so cool. The beady eyes is just perfect. It just screams Rodan to me. Yeah, it's not that articulated, but who cares? It's just, to me, you know, I don't have the SH MonsterArts yet in hand, but this was the top Rodan figure for my tastes this year. Oh, nostalgia is a killer, because next up we have the SDCC exclusive Star Wars Black Series Boba Fett. Boy, I mean, I had to have this guy, you know, like, I loved this figure as a kid, the original line. It was my all-time favorite figure, and, well, Star Wars figure, and I just, man, when they announced this, I did backflips, because it's just so cool. So cool to get a Black Series version of this figure. It looks great. There's some minor gripes like that, you know, I guess that's more of a major gripe, but like, you know, it's just hard. It's just hard not to love this thing. It is so cool. It came carded. It was just nice. A nice package all around, and it just hit that sweet spot in a year where there's been a lot of attention on Star Wars, hasn't there? But man, Boba Fett still rings true. Top 10. Whoa. Here we have the Moffx John Wick 2. John Wick. This is a really cool figure. Came out at the right time. I had just watched, finally, John Wick 1 and 2. And he just happened to still be up on Ami for pre-order. And I grabbed him right away. And he came out a few weeks later. What perfect timing. And I absolutely love it. He's really cool. Yes, he's got a Star Wars gun in his hand right now. I think that's a Star Wars gun. It was the only thing I had around right now. I don't know where his, whatever gun he was holding before. He's been around my desk since review. I just love him that much. Whenever someone sticks around that long for like other like comparisons, I know I love him, and it's a top 10 figure for me. It's just really cool. I like what Moffx has been doing. They got a lot more cool stuff. For me, I was like dipped into Moffx a little bit this year, as I do every year. But I think next year there's a lot more stuff on the horizon that's just amazing. But for this year, this guy was tops for me. At number 9, this could easily have been the number 1 pick this year. It's weird from 1 to 9 though, huh? Had I been able to like mess around with it more than I did. I only opened it like, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago, finally, after having it since like, what, February or something, March? Insane. Sometimes it just happens to me. I just cannot get around to opening stuff. Especially some of the high-end stuff, I just shy away from it in a way. But as soon as I opened it, I felt the quality. I was like, this is a top 10 figure, and it could easily be number 1 if I get to mess around with it, even a little bit. And I just didn't. I just got to mess around with it a little bit. This is, oh my god, this is the metal build of Evangelion EVA 01, and yeah, it is just stunning. I mean, you can just see that this is probably the best version of this particular EVA 01 that we'll ever get. At number 8, we have the X Plus Large Monster Series Orga. Wow, this thing is incredible and incredibly long, and if I turn it to the proper way, I'm gonna knock down every figure behind me here, in front of me, I should say. Look at this thing, though. It is so gorgeous. What a beautiful... Oh, I almost knocked down the figures now. Oh, and my camera. Wow, it's big. It's just long. From head to tail, it is so long. And awesome. If you loved Godzilla 2000, or even liked it, or any Godzilla movie, Orga is like one of those... I feel like one of those monsters that kind of transcends a lot of fandom. I don't know a lot of people that don't like this guy. He is just incredible looking, and X Plus knocked it out of the park. It is amazing. It could have even been higher. It's probably more of a character thing for me that it wasn't higher, but it's pretty high as it is. At number 7, shock, is the SOC Dairugger. I bet you a lot of folks thought maybe this might have been number 1, but it is not. And this is a pretty awesome piece. It really, really is. I mean, it's a top 10 piece on anybody's list that would have this. Top 5 even. Number 1 for a lot of folks, and I don't doubt it. I just felt like there's some bits that are very fiddly. And you know what? Vehicle Voltron to me just never meant as much as that guy back there. It is what it is. We all have different fandoms, you know? It is incredible, and it's just incredible to have this as a companion piece to the best figure of all time, the SOC Lion Voltron, you know? Go Lion. But this is awesome. It really is. I love that I have it. That's really all I can say. He's here at number 7. Well, my zillions, you might have been wondering if my math is like super off, or, you know, maybe you were actually paying attention when I said sometimes multiple figures get counted as one. And I had to count the entire line of the DC Collectibles Batman versus TMNT. I love this line. Again, I mean, a lot of these could have been number 1 from here on out. Just an amazing figure assortment here that I wasn't getting one set of these. You know, the minute I saw them, it was the minute I knew I was going in on the entire line. And I had to count it as that because it's just awesome. Unless some figures were bad, but they weren't. They were all cool. Now, I know I haven't reviewed all the sets yet, and I will, but, I mean, the style of these figures, it just speaks to me as an artist, and I loved the cartoon. It was really a good animated movie, you know, so very cool line. I feel like one of the best things DC Collectibles has done, and, I mean, again, it could have been higher, especially with this many figures. Just so good. I'm so happy to have him here. We've made it to the top 5, my zillions. And this is the most ornate figure in my collection. And an easy top 5 figure. And this is the SHF Garo Riga. And how awesome does this thing look? And I'm holding it by its cape, not to touch it and not to have to put on my gloves. Oh man, it is gorgeous. I recently gushed about this figure in a review. Check it out if you haven't. It is just so good. So good. I feel like the only reason it's not higher than this is because I'm afraid to touch it. I don't want to get any smudge marks on this thing. I don't want to lose any of that luster. It is just beautiful. Well, gang, we've made it to number 4, and probably not without some controversy. First off, this was the figure that came out in December of last year in Japan. I did not get it from Japan. I ordered mine through Muteki sales here in the States. And as you know, these figures get released at least a month later here. So I was on the US release of that, so I must count it as that. I did not have it, and I love this Godzilla. And I gotta say, I think this is as much as I love Godzilla, and I feature Godzilla here probably more than anything. Definitely more than anything. I think this is the highest Godzilla figure that's ever been on one of my lists. And I love this Godzilla 1962. And another controversy is the NECA didn't make it. And a lot of folks love that one more. But if you saw my comparison video between the two back whenever I did it, this one won for me. I just love this figure. Everything about it, I love. I just think it's so cool. It evokes the playful style of that Godzilla. You know, like, it's just so good. I love the glassy, amazing looking eyes. It just looks like a big Muppet, but like cool. Like a cool Muppet. Cool Muppets rule! If I collected Mezco figures a lot more hardcore like a lot of other folks do, There'll probably be a lot more figures on this list because each year they make a top 5 figure for me. They do. And this year it was their own Gomez, which was the Toy Fair exclusive that, thankfully, even though I was at Toy Fair, I didn't get one, that they made available right after Toy Fair. I was able to snag it, and it has been... And they've released a lot of Gomez's since then, but this is the only one I really wanted. And it's gorgeous, and it is amazing, and it comes with a ton of weapons, and I just love it. I love everything about this figure. He is super cool. The only reason why he hasn't stuck around my desk is because I had him in a box with some other stuff, and I kind of forgot about him. Not forgot about him, but like I just forgot where the box was. But here he is at number 3 and the highest 1/12 scale figure. Mezco 1/12 Collective Gomez. Now, I know I've said, you know, some of these could have easily been number 1. This was number 1 for the longest time. For real. This is the Titan Power Voltron, and I haven't had a chance to review it yet, but, man, I mean, and I haven't had a chance to review number 1 either. But this guy is amazing. It's not without controversy. It didn't come into existence without some controversy, unfortunately. And we'll get into that in the review, possibly. Because it's here now. It is a figure that exists. And it is quite amazing. I love the proportions. It sings to me like almost no other, you know, just like the DC Collectibles figures that we just looked at before. I just love the aesthetics here. I love the crazy proportions for Lion Voltron. Giant feet work for me. I just love it. He's got light up gimmicks. Now, the one thing that's really keeping it from number 1 is I've had massive trouble with the headlights here from the eyes. I've had to like take apart his head, try to fix it, and even that's not worked. And even now, I think... unfortunately, I think the lights are going dim a little bit. They might have been on for too long at some point because of the troubles I've had. It's very fiddly. Unfortunately, I have not been able to get a replacement for the headlight thing. So it is what it is. It's still amazing and a definite, at least, number 2. Well, folks, we've reached the end of the journey. And standing on top here, all alone, is the Transformers Bumblebee Deluxe Scale Collectible Figure. Oh boy, guys. I mean, when I got this thing, I knew it was almost a shoo-in for number 1. Yeah. You have to feel this thing. It is amazing. So much diecast. It feels so good. It doesn't transform, thankfully. It's big, it's chunky, it's amazing. It is the, no doubt, best representation of the movie Bumblebee. And here you have the, you know, more Battle Hornet-like, you know, head here, which I love. Here's the regular head. I know I should have went with this, but I just love this so much more. I really do. It is so awesome. Man, look, his lights up, too. Not without some trouble, too. I'll get into that when I review it, but, yeah. This guy has been, you know, he's been lingering around for a little while, waiting for his day. Sometimes, guys, I do like shocking you guys with that number 1 because... or those tops, because it isn't something you've seen here before, and maybe you forgot that I got it. Yes, he's got his little door wings on. I kind of like that look better. It's kind of classic B, you know, I just think it looks cooler than without. This is a great look for me. This is a great figure. It is high quality, amazing. From one of my favorite movies of the last few years, the Bumblebee movie is without a doubt the best live-action Transformers movie, and this is without a doubt the best. And I don't have the Optimus. I didn't get it. So Bumblebee, you're the man. You're my top figure of the year. And my final thoughts on another great year of toys. Man, I like this list. I really do. I think it represents what Ultrazilla is all about. Just collecting a lot of various different lines. Despite my name, I do collect a lot of different things. You guys know that by now. So I'm happy with it. It may change tomorrow. It may change the minute this is done. It's gonna happen. There's so many variables. Like I said, a lot of great toys. A lot of great toys got left off this list. Whole lines got left off. I say that every year because it's the truth. It's just so hard to whittle it down. Even a list as big as this, it's just hard to do. Anyway, I hope you dug it. Let me know your thoughts below, and please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Check me out on Facebook and Instagram. Buy me a coffee on Coffee if you dig what I do. Become a Zillion today. Happy New Year, folks.